Hello and welcome. I am Zerbraxi, and it is finally done. E3 2017. I wrote 2007 on my notes here. I'm dumb. But E3 2017 is finally officially over at the time that I'm writing this. There might be some fallout stuff from different interviews and whatnot, but it's officially done. And we can talk about all the crap and all the stuff that's come from it. So, without further ado, I figured let's talk first about the things that I personally am most excited about from E3 2017. Keep in mind, some of these games are ones that are coming up very soon. Some of this is kind of DLC for, well, one of these is a DLC for a particular game. Others are prequels, yada yada yada, all this. There are only two things that I do want to point out really quickly before I continue on with this. Two quick games I am, yes, super stoked about, but I didn't put on this list because they showed literally nothing, and that is the Pokemon RPG for the Switch and Metroid Prime 4. So keep those on this list as like basically honorable mentions, because yes, I'm stoked. Yes, I'm really pumped to see what those end up becoming, but I have nothing to go off of besides the fact that they were announced. So without further ado, the 10 games that, for me, I'm most excited about that came from E3 2017. So starting off this list, and keep in mind that this actually, there's no real number to this, or order in particular, except number 1, which 100% is the thing I'm most excited about, but all of these pretty much, 10 to 2, essentially, are all pretty equal. So coming in first, though, is A Way Out, the co-op prison escape game being developed by the same guys who brought us Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. And if you've not played Brothers, it's such an interesting and unique experience, and it's an emotional roller coaster. I would highly recommend it. But anyway, for A Way Out, what they showed us, which I have to say, first off, I love just the idea of a very hardcore co-op game, exclusively co-op. You cannot play this single player. You have to play it with another person. You can do this both online or on couch multiplayer, which is so nice to see. There are so few games that just do couch multiplayer in general. I'm happy that was embraced here. I feel like that would be the best way to play this game, is to be able to see exactly what's happening to both people, and being able to sit on the same couch just chatting about what's going on, and feeling that instant physical vibe there. This game is incredibly story-driven by what we know of it, and there seem to be a lot of different scenarios that can play out based on what each player is doing. Some of the examples that they showed, which I think is really interesting, is the fact that, for example, if one player is in a cutscene, kind of getting brought into the prison like they showed, another player could be playing as one of the other prison mates and can still walk around the environment while the other person is in that cutscene. And you're kind of working through it's basically literally two stories running parallel to each other, and then kind of crossing over at times, and then needing each other throughout that. And just to put that into a single game is really fascinating. Also, the other thing that's really neat is that, judging by the trailers and stuff that they've talked about and shown, the only thing that I was worried about was that the prison would be the only location you're in, which I trusted that they would be able to do it well, but it looks like that's not the case. It looks like they've shown a lot of outdoor areas as well. There's like the bike riding, there's them in the truck running down the road. So being out of the prison is also pretty dang cool. So yeah, A Way Out looks super cool. And I'm really excited to just sit down and play that with somebody. And that might be something that we do a jerry-rig series on, and do a playthrough with that, because that could be super fun. Coming up next is Detroit Become Human. Now, I have been following this for quite a while. I was one of those people, like many others, who, when that tech demo came out so many years ago, crying, this could be a cool premise for a game. And it is, and it's coming. And I still don't know entirely how to feel about it and how to approach it. The people who are making it, they've made games like Beyond Two Souls, Indigo Prophecy, and one of my personal favorite games, actually, is Heavy Rain. And this, if anything, we know that the people behind this title are going to be able to provide some really crazy, awesome story, and something that's usually very challenging. I mean, Heavy Rain, as an example, really challenged you as both a player, both in the way you would approach an obstacle, the way you would do something to yourself. The different trials within the game were really, really taxing on you and on your brain. So I'm really confident in what they'll be able to convey from a story perspective, but I don't know. I'm still kind of curious how this gameplay is going to get strung along here. They've only shown so much, and it hasn't actually shown enough to get me like super stoked about it from a gameplay perspective. But to be honest, I mean, that's not why you typically play games like Indigo Prophecy or Heavy Rain. Indigo Prophecy is literally Simon Says with the buttons, and Heavy Rain was an interactive movie. So it's not typically the most exciting thing to play. It's your experience within it. So they don't. I guess what I'm just trying to come away from this is I don't know a lot, but at the same time, I don't want to. I'm really okay with what I have to know, what I have to go off of, and their track record, and I kind of want the rest to be a surprise. Because this is such a story-driven game, it needs to be a really interesting and unique experience that I don't want spoiled for me in any way, even from promotional material. So yeah, Detroit Become Human, I'm on board with. So I mentioned the DLC, and here's the DLC, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Frozen Wilds. They didn't even show much, and they don't really have to, because for me at least, Horizon Zero Dawn is still not even competed with anything so far this year as far as my game of the year. I would love something to beat this game for me, for my game of the year so far already. I really would, because I adored Horizon Zero Dawn. It was just so good. They did everything so great, and to even be, I think, a better game than Breath of the Wild and do all of that just straight up better in almost every way. And it's not to knock Zelda. Breath of the Wild is phenomenal, but Horizon just did even more. And what they showed looks really cool. They're still showing the fact that Aloy doesn't have answers to everything. If you haven't finished the game, I don't want to ruin that. But one thing that they did show in particular, that's just a kind of a small detail, but it means a lot to me, is that they showed Aloy in the ancient armor in the trailer, which, if you don't know, the ancient armor you can basically only finally get like at the second to last mission of the game. So I'm hoping that this means that this will be a very clear continuation of the story and less of a like side thing you could do. I'm hoping it's just added on and much more of an endgame DLC. If that's the case, I'm stoked. Either way, I'm stoked and I'm ready to play it. Anything to get me back into that world, I'm cool with. After way too many years, and after a tease of an announcement for Kingdom Hearts 3, we finally got some actual gameplay that was more than about 10 seconds. Finally, a full, proper trailer for the game it was shown, and yeah, there's this feeling of I just want it out already. Like, I don't even care. I don't even care if you show me anything anymore. This has just been so strung along for so long. It's like The Last Guardian, right? Everybody just wanted the game to come out. They didn't even care if it was good anymore. They just wanted it out. And thankfully, what we got was pretty damn good. But Kingdom Hearts 3, that's how I just feel. It just needs to be out. Like, I just don't care anymore. I just want it out. There's this part that's like really excited for it, and there's a part of me that just is almost uninterested because it's just been so long since one of the core Kingdom Hearts games. And I'm not knocking games like Birth by Sleep, which was really, really good, and I think still the best handheld of them. And I'm not knocking even Dream Drop Distance and other games that have come out since, but it's just the spin-off games for the most part have been pretty just subpar to the core numbered games. It really is just this. I mean, I just want it out, and I just need to see it. Also, something neat they did show was that Xemnas is back. That was kind of interesting, and I don't know how or why he's there, but it's the Kingdom Hearts universe. Like, you can do whatever the heck you want and get away with it. But some of the new worlds that they did show, and some of the new combat mechanics that they did show in the trailers do seem like some pretty cool foundations for what could be. So I'm pretty stoked. The only other thing that we know of is that they are showing apparently a bigger trailer or some more gameplay or something coming on July 15th. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait until then to get our Kingdom Hearts 3 fill for real this time. Life is Strange Before the Storm. I can't really say much about this, because if I talk about pretty much anything from Life is Strange other than it was basically tied for my Game of the Year last year alongside The Witcher 3, I don't know if I can say anything without spoiling crap. So I'm gonna try to say as little as I can and just say I'm excited. And I'm really happy that they went with a prequel to the game, to Life is Strange, without going too far back, and the fact that they're just focusing on the story between Chloe and Rachel. And again, I can't say anything more than that without ruining so many parts of Life is Strange. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Don't Nod, you've got me. Don't Nod, you've really got me as a hooked fan. So just keep it up. And if you do even half of what Life is Strange did, I'm down. Also, I did notice and like the fact that it's only 3 episodes this time instead of 5. Really respect the fact that you're not going to try to string us along for the money, and you just like, no, we've got this story and it's only going to take 3 episodes to tell it. We'll do it in that. So again, Don't Nod, you guys are awesome. Metro Exodus. Holy crap, does this game look gorgeous! Now, Metro, for people who don't know, Metro 2033 was the first game to properly pass the Crysis benchmark, the tech benchmark that like Crysis sent so many years ago. Metro 2033 in the highest settings apparently was like the best looking game at the time and was insanely taxing on the machine, but regardless of that, Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light are fantastic titles, and I absolutely adore them. I love how they still are going for this really creepy atmosphere in the Metro games. You just don't know. And I'm not the biggest fan of post-apocalyptic worlds, to be honest. Like, I'm not the biggest Fallout fan or anything like that. I don't really even care about them entirely. But I get really excited, though, when I do find a post-apocalyptic game that for me, I think has done right. And the Metro games have proven themselves already. These games really remind me of titles like Stalker, Call of Pripyat, and Shadow of Chernobyl. I love those 2 titles. And to me, that's just how post-apocalyptic, I think, should be. This really survival heavy, this creepy atmosphere of just the unknown. And that's what really drags me into the Metro games. The only beef I have with what they showed was that the gameplay trailer seemed incredibly scripted, or at least I'm hoping it was. I really hope that the reload animation isn't that long every time. That would drive me insane. Or switching between crossbow bolts doesn't actually take a solid 3 seconds to be like, yes, this is a different crossbow bolt. Let me check and verify. It is different. Let's put that sucker in. Now we can fire. By that time, that bear would have already wrecked my face. So, yes, I am excited for it. I didn't like that scripting, but I think for the most part, it conveyed the type of gameplay that it was trying to and needed to. So, yeah, I mean, I think, if anything, what the Metro games have shown as well is that, just like the Witcher franchise, if you give the right people with the right vision and the right respect for the source material, games based on novels might be a really awesome future for the industry. Apparently movies aren't working, but video games based on books, that might actually be the secret weapon we've been needing this whole time. Coming in next is Moss, and this is one of those games that really grabbed me just because it just looks so imaginative. It's like so adorable, and there's just something that's really kind of childish and fantastic about it. it gave me this really kind of blended feeling of like Tale of Despero and Secret of Nim, and then put into a video game with almost combat like Alice Madness Returns. It's like this really weird mix of stuff, and it looks so creative and fun. Even the puzzles and whatnot seem so neato from like what they showed so far. Even the combat, I mean, it does seem very simple, but it looks very fluid. It looks like it's very smooth. I think that's awesome. And also the architecture and the environments, it looks so imaginative. I think it's just like the word I kept coming back to when I was watching it with my friends, was just, it looks imaginative and creative, and I can't not say that about it. The biggest beef I have is I'll probably never get to play it because it's for PlayStation VR. And I don't have a PS4 Pro. I will almost definitely never get one. And I don't have a PSVR headset. And again, I'll probably almost never get one. It's a real shame. I'm really hoping in some way in time Moss can come to just the base PS4. I would buy it in an instant because I really want to try it. I really, really do. Ninokuni Revenant Kingdom. It's gotta have a JRPG on here. I already had Kingdom Hearts 3, but this one they actually showed a crap ton of stuff. So, Ninokuni 2, the sequel to the, I think this might even be underselling it, the outstanding Ninokuni Wrath of the words are hard. Ninokuni Wrath of the White Witch. This is one of those, like, super, super classic looking JRPGs, and I'm actually really excited about it. I mean, I played, there's been games that have been coming out in the last few years that are really trying to kind of capture that old school JRPG feel, and Ninokuni, I still think, has arguably done it the best for a little while now, and we haven't had one for a bit since the last game came out on the PS3. I was really excited to hear when this game was officially announced, and I'm loving what I've seen so far. The combat looks a bit more involved than the original game. It looks like there's a little bit more going on, and I'm kind of cool with that. I'm not sure if they're going to take, or it looks like they're not taking the same kind of like monster catching route that they took from the original Ninokuni, similar to like other games, like even Tales of Symphonia 2, but it looks like they're doing something different. Almost looks like a Pikmin style combat. I don't know. It's one of those things too, like I purposely haven't been looking too much into it because I know I'm gonna get it almost regardless. The music and style though is just so much fun. It's so fantastic. It's kind of like the Moss thing I was just talking about. It's just so creative and fun, and it so has that Studio Ghibli vibe, and you just can't help but love it for that. But to be fair, it looks like everything I'd want from a Ninokuni sequel. And what bad can you say about that? All I can say is, just don't screw it up. No pressure. Seriously, don't screw it up. I'll be really sad. Spider-Man! Spider-Man! Really excited for another Spider-Man. This was surprising. Insomniac's Spider-Man. I really hope, by the way, it's not just called Spider-Man. I will lose it if, they had Kirby announced, and it's just called Kirby. They had Yoshi announced, and it's just called Yoshi. We also have God of War 4, but it's just called God of War. I really hate the fact that we can't just add a number or some sort of subtitle to a game. So I'm hoping this isn't just called Spider-Man. Maybe they announced it was going to be called something else, and I just didn't see it. But, okay, enough of that. Either way, I am stoked for this. I have this really weird kind of love-hate relationship with Spider-Man games. I adored games, like Spider-Man 2, and some others recently, but there have been others that I just really hate. So, yeah, let's hope it's not one of those. The thing that is really cool, though, is that they did say that the game will focus on an older Peter Parker who's been doing the whole superhero thing for quite a while now, so he's really experienced in it, and it definitely showed throughout the gameplay. That definitely very did. The other cool thing is I do love the style of combat they have. It's very Arkham-y, but also keeping Spider-Man way more acrobatic and dexterous. I love that. It's a really good way to keep gameplay that works while also keeping a style that fits thematically. The little button prompts that I saw around the environment, I heard some people complaining about. I think that looks awesome. The ability to really quickly just like hook onto a beam and swing it around to hit a bunch of dudes and do that so seamlessly and so easily. That looks like it could allow for so many different gameplay options, and I have no clue why I've been seeing complaints about that. I can't wrap my head around that complaint, personally. I did also notice that there were some gadgets that Spider-Man used. That's kind of cool, and it also fits kind of the Peter Parker becoming, you know, a scientist theme, and also could allow for some more gameplay scenarios to play out. And I did also hear a lot of complaints about the QuickTime events. I kind of understand that. I've been somebody who's complained about QuickTime events for a while. However, I also like them when they're done well. I think like the God of War franchise, well, specifically the first 2 games, I think did them really well for the most part. And I like them in a game like Ninja Blade. Like I like them when there's something that this was very clearly just going to be a cutscene, and there's something thematic that can allow you to interact with that cutscene in some way, and it's something that very clearly couldn't be done through gameplay. In the context, at least to what Spider-Man showed. So, from what I saw, I don't really have a beef with it. I'm not like, whoo, ha, yeah, cutscenes with QuickTime events, yeah! No, I'm not really that, but, I mean, I didn't dislike it either. And of course, the little nod that they had to Miles Morales at the end was really cool. And I really hope we get to play as him, or at least he shows some part in the game, or even something stupid of just being able to use the ultimate costume, and being able to play as the Miles costume with like some of his abilities would even be really cool. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope maybe we'll actually get a Spider-Man that's really good and can continue as a franchise in the same universe, the same characters. Insomniac, come on. I know you guys can do it. I have faith. Don't screw it up. And last but not least, Sea of Thieves. When this game first got announced, I didn't really care. I had no interest in it, and then this year came up, they showed some stuff on it, and it hasn't left my mind since. Everything that they keep showing about Sea of Thieves looks awesome. I then went back and I watched like the videos of like the 45 minutes of gameplay. It's just everything I see on Game of Thieves, that's not right, Sea of Thieves, I'm more and more interested in. I love the idea of just you and a small group of friends just being able to explore around a world, be able to compete with other people, and I like how this the game kind of has captured and embraced this whole idea of like a shared world multiplayer, similar to games like Anthem that got announced, and kind of like the Destiny, the pseudo MMO style, I guess. I like that, and I like the fact that the world has players in it, but it's not just like flooded with too much. Now, I think that's very valuable. I love the fact that there is the PvP, there is the PvE, there's just so many different aspects of it. It feels... Initially, I just thought it was going to be like Guns of Icarus with pirates. And it's very clearly not. It's very clearly an action-adventure game that's multiplayer with pirates. And that's super, super cool. I love the examples that they showed with finding the maps and working with the map to solve riddles and exploring these islands and doing different things and bargaining with people, like... So, like, having somebody attack your ship, and then you're be like, no, dude, please, here, just take the treasure and leave. And, like, they do, because it's not worth it to keep trying to attack into the ship, or just all these little things of just even when you die, you're on the, you know, the ferry of the damned. Like, that's super, super cool. There's so much that's really exciting about it, and the combat, granted, looks so simplistic. It looks so basic, and I'm okay with that. I don't think it needs to get muddied down with a complex combat system. I feel like the game needs to be able to be incredibly simple to play, and just the creativity of it, the fun and the escapades that you and your crew kind of create yourselves, that needs to be the selling point. That needs to be the big, grape, the nugget, the golden statue of the game. For lack, I can't think of words to make it conveyed how I like it. I'm really excited for this game. I really, really, really am. It's got such a great old school Rareware humor that's just, they nail it. I mean, Rare has a very particular style, and everything I saw from this so far has been the best. I am so excited. I cannot wait for Sea of Thieves. Also, Microsoft, how dare you worry me? How dare you? You showed on your little trailer thingy that this thing was only coming out for the Xbox One. You made me so terrified that I wasn't going to be able to play this on the PC because I don't have an Xbox One, and then I had to go and find that yes, it is being made for Windows 10 as well. How dare you, Microsoft? You almost made me have a heart attack because my favorite game of the conference would have been something I can't even play. But I can, and that's all that matters, and that is going to be something that'll be really fun to play with friends and to stream and do some really cool stuff with. So, yeah, oh man, Sea of Thieves, I can't wait. I cannot wait. So that is all I personally have. There were a ton of things that came out that I did find interest in that I just didn't put on here. Things like Anthem or Assassin's Creed Origins. And there were a couple other titles as well. But these were the ones that really stuck with me throughout the entire conference. Also, Destiny 2, can you show like anything ever? So that way people like us or myself who were really burned by your first game might actually buy your second one. That'd be cool. Thanks. That's pretty much it. If there is anything else that you happen to really love and really were excited about, please feel free to post that in the comments below. I'm really excited. I always love E3 because it's always kind of fun just to see what it is coming out. Some of it's soon, some of it's not for a while. I know a lot of people were saying this was like a really crappy E3. I thought it was fine. I mean, I thought it was kind of okay. It feels like every year everybody just says it's a really crappy E3, but that's just what it is, I guess. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great day. Again, please feel free to hit that like button if you liked it, hit the dislike button if you thought I was annoying, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more in future. So thank you so much. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like about E3. I'd be looking forward to have a conversation with you in the comments below. Have a good day. I'm rambling now because I don't know how to exit videos. Really awesome, really cool. There's a dog behind me trying to sniff my chair. Have a good one.